Hey there, I'm Elizabeth from Living Vibrantly, and if you follow me, you know that I have a business all about helping people really get the most out of life and find joy and fulfillment in life through improved health, emotional, physical, mental, spiritual. However, I'm here to answer a burning question that I get a lot, and that is Beachbody coaching sales? And I'm going to give a controversial answer. I'm going to say yes. Yes, it is. And the reason I say this is controversial is because so many people, I see people post, other coaches, and they are trying to get people to sign up with them. And they're like, oh, you don't like sales? Well, good, because this isn't sales. Well, I disagree. And I'm going to tell you why. But I'm also going to tell you that when I say this is sales, I don't see that as a bad thing. Now, when people say what we do is not sales, there's a whole service that we offer along with the products. That is very true. Coaching is a real thing. We're offering support. We're offering motivation. And, it's certainly not just about the products. But that's not what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm going to talk about the fact that we have amazing products. I'm not going to go into why they're amazing because you can find that in my other videos on my website. But, as far as the specifics of what products you can get from me, this is not a video to sell you products, but this is a video to answer if you have hesitations about getting into sales, if you are considering becoming a coach, but you don't want to do sales, you don't want to sell. This is to answer those hesitations. So let me just say that I think sales gets a bad name, and I do understand. Now, we have all had that experience where, kind of the stereotype is the car dealership, where you walk in and people are pushy and they're slick and they don't even listen to you. They just shove something down your throat that you don't even want. And before you know it, you walked out with a new car and you're just not even satisfied with the car that you got, but you just wanted to get done with it because you need a car, and it was horrible, right? So that's bad sales. But that's, let's not let that type of experience speak for all, the sales profession as a whole, because think about the flip side of it. Okay, think about maybe the last time you were in the grocery store. I go to Whole Foods where, and not to be snobby about it, that's just where I shop. But if you guys shop at Whole Foods, have you noticed that they don't just tell you, okay, what you're looking for is in aisle 4. They will walk you to aisle 4 and they will show you where the product is, to the point where I'm like, you know what, you really don't need to take your time because I know you're busy. But they insist on walking with you and just to make sure that you don't get to aisle 4 and you still can't find the product you're looking for. So that's good customer service, right? It's not, they don't walk you over there and be like, oh yeah, while you're here, you think about trying this and this and this and this. They're not just trying to sell you more. They want the customers to have a good experience. They know that in the long run, that is what boosts the store's sales, when people have a good experience and they come back. So yes, maybe there's an ulterior motive, but good customer service is part of operating a business. And, when you come down to it, it's sales. A business doesn't survive if they don't have sales. So let's not let bad sales speak for the entire profession of sales. I'm going to keep coming back to this theme. When you had a good experience that made you want to buy more, or say someone is offering samples at Whole Foods again, and you try something and it's really delicious, and they're like, well, here, it's on sale this week, and the product's right here. You're not going to be mad at them because they told you about this product that you totally loved when you tried it. You're going to say thank you, or you can walk away. You can always say no, but just the fact that they're offering it to you, you got to try the free sample. It ended up being something you really liked. I don't know, maybe you feel that's a pushy tactic. I feel that's awesome because I got some free food. I tried a product that I maybe never would have known about before. And they gave me a good experience where, I tried something new. It wasn't like they forced me to buy it, but it's sitting right there available to me if I liked it. So those are examples of good sales experiences. Think about, maybe you went to a car dealership and you had a great experience, not to give it a bad name at all. I've had good experiences buying cars. That's just kind of the stereotype that it's, bad sales. But say you walked into a car dealership and you got a salesperson who was a really good listener and was asking you what you want in a car, and maybe they, maybe they heard you say like you really hate the cold winters and you really want to have seat heaters, and then maybe they know, okay, they have like a remote starter kit that they can install, and they offer that to you because they heard you. They paid attention to what you like and dislike, and they suggested a feature that they knew would be up your alley. Okay, you can still say no. I think that's where like a lot of us get caught up, where we are not comfortable saying no. And this is a whole separate issue, but just think for a second, if you hate pushy salespeople, if you get confident in saying no, then that kind of alleviates a lot of the guilt that's involved, right? Because if it's like, oh, I want to say no, but I can't say no. And it's like you're transferring this bad feeling that you're having onto the salesperson just for offering it. All right, they can offer it. You say no. If they take no for an answer and they don't push you after you say no, then to me, that's still good sales. They offered something they thought you might want based on the fact that they were listening to you. And, to me, that shows that they care. Yeah, they'll make a little more money if, they upsell you that extra feature. But you might also be really happy with your car. So it's a win-win if you get that remote starter. Another example, good sales. Okay, I used to work and I've been in sales, I guess. I never really didn't think about it that way. I worked in retail. I worked at Nine West when I was in college. And I loved it because I love shoes. And, they're not the most expensive, like fanciest shoes on the planet, but I love that too because it was in Boston, Copley Place Mall, if anyone's been there, but it's a place with a lot of tourists, and everyone who was coming there was on vacation, and it was just a fun place to work because mostly, I think it's just women's shoes, so not men, but women would come in and, a lot of times with their husband, but they're on vacation, they just are like ready to have some fun and let loose a little bit and maybe buy something they wouldn't usually buy, and so they come in, they're excited to find these shoes that are relatively affordable because we're like in the same mall with a Gucci store, right? So they go in there, they can't buy anything. They come to Nine West and they can get like 5-6 pairs of shoes. So it really wasn't, it was relatively easy as a salesperson. Usually I wasn't having to do a lot of convincing. But the other part about it was I made it into a game where, I would see people, I would take into account what they were wearing, kind of get a sense of their look, how they're talking, anything as we're talking, like, people on vacation, they're a little more chatty. They might tell me where they're from, maybe what they do for work. And, while we're talking, while they're looking at shoes, maybe if they're getting shoes for a special event or something specific. And because I was so passionate about the shoes, and there were always like 24 different pairs that we just got in that I loved, and it was genuine. I loved them. But based on what I had observed about the customer, I would come back not only with the pair they asked for, but, often with like 2-3 different pairs that I just thought they would really like in their size. And if they didn't like them, they can say no. That's totally fine. And I was never like upset that they said no, but I tried. And a lot of times they did buy some of the extra pairs that I brought out because I took the time to really notice them, think about what they would want. It is not, I'm not saying that I'm like super genius for doing this. Like as you get to know people, you observe things about them. And, a lot of being a successful salesperson is just noticing other people, listening, caring, being interested, like putting yourself in their shoes. So those are like pretty, I mean, I don't want to say they're basic social, like features of social interaction, but they're really, really important if you want to have friendships and relationships in your life. So to me, that was a really cool part of sales is, you know, these kind of social skills that help us out a lot in life in general were coming in really, really handy with sales. And, you know, you might disagree. I didn't think I was pushy by bringing out some extra shoes. Like I said, it was just like, hey, if you want to see these, I thought you might like these. And if they like didn't even open the box, I didn't take it personally. But if they went away and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see this pair on the shelf, thank you so much, and they end up with this pair of shoes that they totally love that they wouldn't have thought about trying on before. So to me, that's a win-win because they walked away with some shoes that they really love. And you know, as a salesperson, I got a commission, but I felt like it was being observant about that person's desires and what they want. So to me, sales is not a dirty word. Another example, you know, I used to sell candy bars door to door, and I earned my way to summer camp several years in a row. I just loved it. Like, it was just fun as a kid, you know. I mean, again, it was like relatively easy. Who doesn't like candy bars, right? Everything in moderation. But if there's some kids showing up at your door selling candy bars for something that's, you know, charity, a good cause. I mean, it was a YMCA camp, and sometimes people have questions like, are you really going to camp? And I answer their questions and tell them about, you know, canoeing and windsurfing and arts and crafts and whatever they want to know about the camp. And it was fun to meet people. It was like, I mean, I used to be a newspaper reporter, which you do well at it if you're nosy because you have to ask a lot of questions. But so, you know, selling candy bars, like you get to see a little bit of like a little peek of the inside of people's houses when they open the door. So I loved it because there's all these, you know, I always wondered what it'd be like to live in different neighborhoods, different kinds of houses. So when they open the door, you get to see that for just a second and kind of see what people are doing when they're just at home and what they're wearing. And I just thought it was fun. So again, like a win-win, you know, they get this delicious candy bar. I got to earn my way to camp. Sales accomplishes some good things in the world, in my opinion. Maybe that's why, you know, people have a bad notion about network marketing, and I really didn't have that. Getting into it, I didn't have those hesitations because I don't see a downside to it. Like I said in the beginning, with Beachbody, we have incredible products. If you look at the ingredients on our supplements, there's nothing else like it on the market. There are a few products that are comparable, and I tell people that, you know, if they run out of Shakeology, they have to wait a little while to get more. I tell people what kind of the things that I consider, not that they're exactly the same, but they're pretty much as good, and they're about the same price. So you can, you know, go to Whole Foods, you know how much I love Whole Foods, but there's some things you can get that are, you know, kind of in the same neighborhood. But so we have really, really good supplements, nutritional supplements, and then we have the best video, workout videos on the market. I mean, the production quality and the attention that they've given to how they structure the workouts, how they're describing the workouts, paying attention to form, kind of thinking of the common problems that people run into. Even though they can't see you at home, they kind of know what you might be doing wrong and they address it. So, the videos are just so good and they're fun. They're fun. Like some people watch them like they're watching TV. I'm not kidding you. Some of my clients do this. They think it's entertaining. So we have really good products and I'm very confident in our products. So that's one reason I don't ever feel bad about asking someone, you know, if they would be interested in my challenge group, because I know what a great experience they're going to have when they try these products. But you know, aside from that, I don't think sales in general is a bad thing. By the time I get to that point of asking them if they want to be part of the challenge group, I have asked them enough about what goals they're working towards, what do they struggle with when it comes to nutrition, what kind of exercise do they like, what do they not like, what, what are their goals? What are they looking to accomplish with, specifically with exercise and any, physical limitations. So I know a lot about them by that time, and I know that I'm going to be making a recommendation specifically for them. It's not just like, here's the thing I want to sell, and hey, do you want it? I'm listening, and I am making a thoughtful recommendation that I truly believe can help them. And so, yep, I'm making a commission, but that's my job. I don't think that's selfish, because they are also going to be helped by it. And so, aside from that, I mentioned at the beginning, the service that we provide, our coaching, okay? People get hung up because it's Shakeology, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of product pushers out there. So, a lot of them are not from our company, but some of them are, that are really like posting a lot of just like pictures of the product. I really don't put a lot of pictures of the product on my social media. Like, I'm not really posting photos of the DVDs unless I'm doing a giveaway specifically of a DVD package. But you know what I mean, where you see people posting like a supplement bottle, the big banner across it with the price and whatever. So that's one issue. But when you're selling a service, that's sales too, okay? I'm telling you why sales gets a bad name when it shouldn't, because we put like something in a category of like, this is sales, and that's usually like the stuff that's bad that we talked about, the big splashy price over the product photo, and the car salesman guy who like doesn't even listen to what you want. He just has a car he wants to unload, and he doesn't care what you actually need. So that's bad sales. But there's this whole other world that's still sales, and it's helpful and it's beneficial. So like I was saying, if you're selling a service, it's still sales. Like, how many services do you get on a weekly or monthly basis? You get your hair cut. Okay, you walk by the salon. Maybe there's a sign in the window that they're having a promotion. That's sales. If you're getting, a discount for new customers and you walk into the salon because of that, that's sales. Is that a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing, because you got a haircut at a discount and the salon got more business. It's a win-win. So sales should be a win-win unless you're doing it wrong. But don't be afraid of being a salesperson. Don't be afraid of having to sell. If you have something good to offer, the selling really does itself. All you're doing is putting yourself out there. I used to, and I'm taking a break right now, but I will teach yoga classes again. But sales, our yoga studio put ads in newsletters. That's sales. I don't have a problem with that. The studio wasn't going to survive if it didn't tell prospective students that it was there. The studio had to put ads in newsletters in the neighborhood so people would know that it was there, so they could come and take a class. It's a sale. They're purchasing a class pass, but they're still getting a yoga class that they're really enjoying. They're benefiting physically, emotionally from what they purchased, which was a service, which was a yoga class. It's a win-win. The studio benefits, the student benefits. If you're getting a massage or acupuncture, or even just like choosing a doctor, there's money changing hands. It's sales. Now let's talk about word of mouth, because probably, if you got a massage, acupuncture, or picked a new doctor, you found out about it from someone, right? I mean, maybe you just looked in, maybe want to say the yellow pages. People don't really do that anymore. So maybe you just Googled it, for your city to find someone who does acupuncture, and then you read the reviews. But word of mouth is a big tool in sales. But I say this because, like I said, we hear sales and we think of this little, like, small subset of it that's bad sales. But the whole other world of everything that's the win-win part of sales, it's so common we don't even realize we're participating in it every day. So when you try a new restaurant and you love it, when you get a massage and you have a great experience and you tell your friends about it, word of mouth, they end up going there, it's sales. But do you hate that? Do you hate yourself for telling your friend that you tried a restaurant you loved? No. You feel like you did them a favor because now they get to try this awesome restaurant too. Win-win, okay? So the restaurant is providing a good experience. So that's contributing. That's a part of sales, right? Remember back to the beginning, the Whole Foods walking you to aisle 4, good customer service is a part of sales. So then they rely on you, word of mouth, to bring in the new customer for them. It's a win-win. Your friend has a good experience and the restaurant gets a little more income. And so it's basically a referral. Well, guess what? I depend a lot on referrals in my business. Every month I get at least one new customer who was referred by a previous customer. If I gave my previous customers a terrible experience, they're not going to make referrals. So part of my providing a good experience for them, yeah, it's so I get sales in the future because I want to keep doing this. You know, I can't keep doing this if nobody buys my services. But I'm not going to say that, oh my gosh, I feel so sleazy because it's sales. It is, and that's okay. In fact, I'm proud of it. Sales are the bread and butter of what I do and just about any business. Education, colleges, they have to get people to come there. It's sales. Really, if there's any financial transaction, sales is involved. If you're a babysitter, you put up a flyer because you have to tell people that you are offering this service in order for them to purchase the service. It's all sales. Sales kind of makes the world go around. So just the next time you find yourself thinking, I hate sales, or I don't want to sell, I want you to think back to this video and just give it a second thought, because it may not be what you think. And it sounds a little weird, but I really feel like in this sales profession, which by the way, there are a lot more sales professions than you think, in this sales profession, that is what is allowing me to reach more people and touch more lives. Hopefully, I've opened your mind a little bit about sales. Thank you for listening.